Okay, so how to get this tight, don't get blinded by the light. But the 35th time watching The Greatest Showman with my 2 daughters, my wife. My son is playing NBA 2K, coming upstairs every 5 seconds telling me he scored 25 points like it's a real game. Poor son. Okay, so 35th time, I'm singing and dancing, all right? I'm still not blinded by the light. 45th time, no lie, every time I came home, I'm watching. Still singing and dancing. 55th time, I go down the rabbit hole. I get blinded by the light. I stop singing and dancing, and I'm like, this guy, Hugh Jackman, I want to know if Barnum really looked like my man, okay? He was a good-looking dude, had a mouthpiece, can get any lady he wanted, okay? I mean, he sold ice to Eskimos and fire to the devil himself, and they were coming back to watch the show over and over and over again. And I feel like that's what we do sometimes, right? All of a sudden, I'm like, nope, well, my man just had a mouthpiece. Because sometimes what we see, what we get, the programs ain't really what reality is. Which brings me to social media, because that's where I get it from. Social media. We all get blinded by the light by social media. And I mean this from every coach. What's the new trend going on? Now, I'm not here to bash social media. That everybody says their parents, coaches, they got knowledge at their fingertips. They can do anything they want. Google it. Go to Instagram. Influencers. Blue check marks. Why didn't he like it? I don't know, right? My whole thing is social media is great, but how are you using it, right? Over the summer, everybody knows this, knees over toes. Raise your hand if you didn't hear it this summer, because if you didn't, you're lying, okay? I got a phone call about it. Steve, what do you think about knees over toes? I'm like, never heard of knees over toes. I'll Google it. Googled it, looked at it, and I'm like, okay. I've been pushing sleds since I was here in Louisiana. Jesse Kellum, probably one of the strongest dudes I ever worked out with, won the Arnold Classic probably 8 times in a row. Every Saturday morning, I seen the dude pushing and pulling sleds, right? Kurt Hester, director here now at Tulane, same thing, pushing and pulling sleds. Ask the grass squats. Isn't that how you're supposed to squat? Unless there's an issue? Okay, all right, it's all good. Knowledge, right? Okay, right? So, like I was talking about, knowledge. Everybody says it. You get all this data, information, which equals knowledge, but it's the wisdom where to apply the knowledge. If you don't have the wisdom to apply the knowledge, you don't have anything. You actually have zero, right? How do you get wisdom? There's a couple ways, all right? By doing, failing, learning. Or there's a simpler way, humbling yourself, getting on the phone, and asking the people and the brightest people on technology, on lifting, on different aspects of lifting, programming, my man, I need your help. If you were me, what would you do? But sometimes we just don't want to humble ourselves because we're blinded by the light because we point at everything else and said, well, that's not my fault, that's not my fault. But sometimes you got to say, I'm going to take that thumb and put it right on my forehead because it is my fault, because I need to humble myself.